Hello sweet beings, and welcome to another Galactic Mayan Astrology report. So this is a report for the 15th of September 2020, and the energy that we are moving into for the coming 13 days is in the energy of White Dog. We're moving into White Dog Wavespell, and this is very significant for me personally because I am part of the White Dog tribe. So this is my birth Wavespell. And yeah, therefore it's super close to my heart. And I can also talk about it with a lot of human experience in there, as well as opening my channel and bringing through whatever wants to come through. So White Dog. Okay, so it's a white sign. Now the white signs are about refinement. The white signs are about getting clear. It's about clearing up the distortion to allow the true image, the true embodiment to land. And the dog is about unconditional love. Now, we are humans, okay? We've beamed into all of these different ancestral lines, and each ancestral line has got its own barrier, its own story, its own repeating pattern around love and conditions around love. So when we're working with White Dog, we're working with the family conditioning, we're working with the experiences that you had within your family, that the other people, you know, way back in your family also had, that created distortions around love. So really this process reveals to us the code. Is phenomenal, really. You know, when we really start to witness, oh wow, okay, so my grandmother is like that and I'm like this, or my father is like that and I'm like this. We really get to then see, it's like a big part of the breaking through the conditioning puzzle is to recognize that it's not because we're bad, it's not because we're at fault, it's just an imprint. It's an imprint that we have taken on. It's an imprint that came through our cells due to the DNA that we have received in this human being body. But it's also an imprint that we have experienced, have received through our experience. So when it comes to this idea of, you know, clearing and healing, and such a huge part of healing the human being, if not the part in my perspective, is about working with the inner child. You know, the adult us has developed in a certain way due to the restrictions around the light of love that were placed upon us in our family. So all of our distortions began when we were in childhood, and the repeat has just been continuing ever since then. So when we're journeying with White Dog, we're really journeying with the conditioning that our inner child received. It's not, so with the monkey, that is the energy of the inner child. That's the central process of our whole calendar. And when we're working with Blue Monkey, we're unlocking the play, the creativity, we're anchoring into the qualities of the child archetype. Whereas White Dog is about our ancestral conditioning that the child that we are, that our human being self is, received. So yeah, within White Dog, we're really invited to explore what our family conditioning is. What is it for you that your family taught you about love? And I don't just mean, you know, love in a romantic sense. I mean love in every way. Like, how were you taught to show up to the family? What was your place within the family? And can you see how that then still echoes for you? What do you need to do? What do you need to release? What do you need to heal in order to be free of being that particular person? You know, being that particular manifestation within the family. Are you the rescuer? are you the problem? You know, what is it? What would your label or labels within your family be? And can you see how you restrict yourself as a result of that? Now, another big piece of this idea of relationship and unconditional love, it's also about relationship with the self. So the voices, the conditioning, the experiences that we had like on the outside of ourselves when we were children, then form the subconscious realm. They form the words, the voices in our head that tell us off. You know, that inner monologue, unless we're channeling, is simply conditioned. The way that we perceive everything is conditioned by taking the imprint of what was going on around us into our subconscious that then creates our internal world. When we're first born, the internal world is pure. You know, we're still in spirit. But then as we really beam into the ancestral line, and as we begin to receive the conditioning from the outside, that subconscious realm gets filled with distortions that then mean that we can't be in our creative power. So when you're feeling reactive, when you're feeling triggered, when you're feeling sad, when you're feeling powerless, when you're feeling all of these different things, notice your inner monologue, notice what comes up for you, and then place it to the person. Put it in its rightful place. Recognize whose voice that is. And that's one piece of the illusion that then begins to move. It's like the illusion shatters in some way when we place that voice with that person, when we see the pattern, oh wow, that was my mum's pattern. When we can see those things, when we can strip away the involvement in the emotion, we can then re-engage with the emotion with an anchor of presence. We are here to engage with the emotion. We are here to be human. We're not here to be detached from the emotion, to be working strictly with energy. We're here to do, you know, and that's where as we go through the process of the human transformation journey, we come to a greater level of awareness and ability to zoom out, but we're not doing it escaping. We're not doing it whilst all of the corrupted code is there. We move the code out of the way, we heal the code, we reprogram the code, we reprogram the stories of our family, and we stand in presence within the human experience, as opposed to, whoa, that feels awful, I'm going to go into this higher state. So when we are able to see the pattern, it gives us that momentary like, aha, okay, the ego gets to see the bigger picture before we then step back into the place of feeling. The place of feeling is the transformation journey. It's not about the analytical, objective, detached space. You know, the divine feminine is back. The divine feminine is alive within us. The divine feminine is orchestrating everything that is going on the planet right now, because it's really about getting triggered. When we are triggered, when we are reacting, when we are feeling a charge, something is going on for us. Some of our wounding has been switched on and is being pushed by a button. If we can follow that feeling, we will meet one of our stories. We will meet what is resonating from the past that we experienced. And when we follow it back, it always takes us back to our family. All the codes started there. Whether it was inherited or whether it was imprinted through our experience, which is kind of one and the same thing anyway. So really within this Wavespell, we are invited to connect in with who we were conditioned to be. And it's only through the dismantling, active dismantling of who we were conditioned to be, do we find who we are. And this really, you know, for me was a really phenomenal journey and experience when I did my Reiki master training, because I was in Bali and I had a really profound experience where I met a manifestation of the divine feminine within a journey, a breathwork journey. And I just kept repeating, like, I don't know who I am. Like, I know who I'm not, but I don't know who I am. And that's when I received my name. You know, that's when who I am, like, in essence, was able to begin to drop into my being, was able to begin to start to walk here. You know, and I'm still a human, and I still am working on my conditioning and deconstructing the person that, you know, I was taught to be. But who I am, my soul essence, is here more and more all of the time. But it really started after the Reiki Master experience, and that actually is like quite a nice segue into just mentioning I am launching a program, a Reiki Master training program, which is going to be, we're going to be journeying together for 7 weeks. It is going to be incredible. It's all about finding your medicine and allowing your teacher self, the wisdom that you have accumulated through your human experience, to support you to hold space for other people. We're going to be training in lots of different ways. You know, you're going to be within a beautiful community of people, and also accessing spirit. It's really going to be about how to channel, how to create space, how to show up. So have a look on my website for that, because it's going to be amazing. So yeah, so within this journey of White Dog, we're really being invited to deconstruct our personal history to become who we are. And the other piece of White Dog is really about soul tribe. It's about finding our people. It's about, we don't need to do anything. It's like we put out the Batman signal in the sky. We find our people magnetically. You know, there is nothing that we need to search for in that. And the more that we dismantle the false identity, the more that we find those people, you know. And the beautiful thing about finding our people is that, you know, we remember who we are at a greater level. You know, we get to really unlock more and more of who we are in essence when we are connecting with the people from our home. So I hope that you have a wonderful Wavespell. I hope that the next 13 days are magical for you. It's my Mayan birthday on the 12th day of this Wavespell, because I'm a crystal dragon, and it's absolutely no coincidence that I am back with my birth family now and witnessing in so many amazing ways the codes, the conditioning, and I can be there without reacting to it now. There's like, I've got to a point where I can just be open-hearted and in relationship without all of the crazy triggers. Don't get me wrong, there's still some triggers, but there's just a really beautiful like progression. And that, I would say, is like the final thing that wants to be shared around the White Dog process, is that, you know, when we are trigger free, we can have relationships with everybody, you know. And if we want to, you know, there's again this like self-abandonment piece, you know. It's, as we clear the codes, we also start to claim and respect ourselves, and that sometimes means saying no and not having relationships in our lives. But it makes relationships, like with family, we can be there, you know. So yeah, sending you loads of love, beautiful ones, and have a wonderful 13 days, and I'll see you next time.